Please, Kevin.
Okay, and thank you, Kailas. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our all hands meeting for this week. And because we're already delayed 6 minutes because of our mistake, we'll just go right into our weekly inspiration for Kayla. Please give us our weekly inspiration.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin. Quick weekly inspiration. This is IKEA's founder. His name is Invar Kamprad. Not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but he started his entrepreneurial journey helping his family throughout the Great Depression, and he learned how to help customers by creating low prices but still making a profit for his family. And he brought those lessons with him when he started his IKEA business. And he made some innovations so that IKEA's business was more cost efficient by making the furniture in mass production, packaging it in a flat shape so it would transport easily. And as we all know, we have the customers put in work as well. Like if we go to IKEA, we have to take our own products from the warehouse and assemble it ourselves. So I think from IKEA, we can learn that Invar really saw the details in what builds a customer's experience through IKEA, and also how from behind that, how to build an efficient business. So we learned that details matter, and I can't see. I'm sorry. And we learned to never settle. What we know now, we can always make it better, and we can help others first. Because Invar wanted to help people that were like him, who value products with low price and high quality. So yeah, that's for me, Kevin. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kayla, for the weekly inspiration. Hopefully, we'll inspire everyone. And we'll go next to the vision statement and its examples in Bukit Vista. So for first to Kak Chris, can you explain what you wrote in this? Or Mr. Jing? Okay, Mr. Jing.
Kevin, I'll go ahead and introduce it. So good morning, everyone at Bukit Vista, all across the world, all across Indonesia. I happen to be in Jogja right now, but yeah, it's awesome here. So we are taking actually a pretty big and bold step by modifying and evolving one of our core values, which has been here since the very beginning. So the core value is to help others first, but based on some feedback that I've been hearing, and I saw some inspiration from Chris, I thought this core value actually should be modified. And I thought it was about time that in front of the entire company that we announced that we're going to modify the core value of help others first. To continue that conversation, I'll pass it over to Chris, who will tell us more about this new exciting core value.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jing and Kevin, for the opportunity. So the new core values will be help others to help themselves. So this is actually, we want to enabling others to help their own self. And I think it's the best investment that we can do to others. Why? Because we don't give them exactly what they want, but we help and guide them on how to get what they want. And these small changes can actually give a huge impact and positively transform someone's life. Actually, we help them to solve their own problem. They can count themselves when challenges occur, and actually the ultimate goal. So they can also help and guide others to help themselves. And this is actually the inspiration that I get from this sayings, which is my personal updates last week. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. But when you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. And also, I also want to point out some points for leaders who are going to implementing this. Basically, we are trying to first lead with trust. We want to trust others. We want to trust our mentees to believe them so they can solve their own problem and so on. This empowerment is actually a valuable thing that we can share to others, to those we lead. And then we have to lead responsively as well. Be responsive, meaning that we need to offer a solution or guidance that people need, not what we think is right. And then lead reflectively. Make sure to have a clear and focused mind so we are fully conscious when we are making decision on what should be done or how we are going to guide others. And the last one, and which is I think one of the most important thing, is actually lead ourselves. Because in order to lead others, we have to first lead ourselves first and be accountable, stood up for challenges, and also keep improving yourself, because improving yourself will help a lot of people in so many ways, directly or indirectly. I think that's all from me. And this new evolution of the core values, I hope it can help and share the same values with the last one or anything. So yeah, that's from me. Back to you, or maybe Mr. Jin.
Thank you very much, Chris, and thank you for taking the initiative and being the hero to start this monumental change in our core values, which is very fundamental to the whole mission and vision of Bukit Vista. All right, next thing I just want to say, which is something that I see a lot of interns are in the company. I think we've had one of the largest populations of interns now. So there is no way that you're going to avoid making mistakes at Bukit Vista. That's just kind of like the nature of an innovative company. Now, there's two ways that you can make mistakes. You can make mistakes of omission, or you can make mistakes of commission. So making mistakes of omission means that you don't act. There's an opportunity, but you chose not to pursue it. Or there's a threat that's lingering, but you chose not to address it. Those are mistakes of omission. Although we generally do not see or activate on these particular mistakes, these are far lower quality mistakes than mistakes of commission. What is a mistake of commission? Let's say you see an idea, you give it a shot, but it doesn't work out. That's okay, because the next time you see that opportunity, you'll be better addressed. You'll have the experience to deal with it in a more positive way. You detect a threat, you took action, but the outcome wasn't great. It still affected the company negatively. That's still better than not taking any action at all. Remember, inspiring delight means to actually positively transform. Positive transformation happens only when we engage with opportunities and threats. So, as a message to all the new people here at Bukit Vista, mistakes are going to happen regardless. Please consider how to make mistakes of commission rather than mistakes of omission. If you make too many mistakes, we'll rely on your leads and your executives to tell you, okay, stop. But I think we're far away from that level yet. So yeah, that's just a general public service announcement. And the next thing I'd like to do is to invite Bayu. I hope Bayu is here right now. Bayu, are you there? Okay.
Yep.
All
Good
right.
morning.
Bayu, I actually saw this quote that you put down, I think, on an employee journal. Could you tell us a little bit more about it and how to use it to inspire delight?
Yeah, sure. So this is a pretty spontaneous comment actually that I make, but I think this can inspire some people to in terms of problem solving. So I saw that some of us actually, when we are trying to solve a problem, we stick to the role or the scope that we are in, right? And then we are stuck in there. So this I give an example of basically traveling. So the analogy you can read right there. So let's say if we are in Bali and want to go to a remote island like Fiji, for example. So the normal action that we can do is usually just to buy a plane ticket. And the most obvious way to search for ticket from Bali to Fiji is search ticket from Bali to Fiji, right? So uh, that is very obvious problem solving solution basically, and most probably we won't find it from Bali to Fiji. And then as usual, what we can do is we can wait forever until the search result shows up a research about ticket from Bali to Fiji, or maybe we can do similar thing but asking different travel agent as many as possible, right? But I think the second option here, rather than doing that over and over again until it's success, I think we can just retreat. I think we can just give up to that solution, and we can zoom out and basically gain more understanding. And basically, I call it actually a creativity, where you can actually try to find a ticket not from Bali, but more from like any random airport, for example, right? If you don't have any idea, like Jakarta, for example. So Jakarta is the capital city, so there's probably a flight from Jakarta to Fiji. This will cause problem because the step you need to take, there are two, right? So you need to from Bali to Jakarta and then Jakarta to Fiji. But this actually have greater chance of success compared to sticking to the first idea, doing just one solution until it's giving a result. So I think this in our real life implementation, this should inspire uh, like a solution that we can give using by thinking outside of the scope that we are working on. Like, so let's say for example, if we want more booking, for example, we always think oh, we need to improve the HAR, for example, right? But probably not. Probably what we can do is we can improve the, I don't know, the community engagement. Who knows, right? By improving the community engagement, then the staff in the property will be more happy to serve guests, and then the guests there will leave review, and then the review will get more guests. So that is more step than the traditional approach, but I think that will bring us there with I think greater chance of sustainable result.
Okay.
So that is the idea, Jake.
Thank you very much, buddy, for the update. And actually, truth be told, I took a similar approach to arrive in Jogja. So I flew to Solo first and then to Jogja by train because it was actually the most economical way to get here and the least amount of time. All right, thank you very much. So the next part is I want to illustrate an example of somebody who is actually doing really well on the mission. So I'd like to bring Alif up. And the one thing that I saw Alif did that was very exemplary, that was very exceptional, was the way that he communicates the progress on his campaign card. I thought there was a lot of things that we can learn. So let me bring up Alif. Alif, are you there?
Yes, hello, Mr. Jing.
All right, welcome in. So please tell us, Alif, a little bit more about the structure of how you do your reporting, and tell us how it can inspire delight.
Okay, so yes, I think basically, basically I have two types of methods in reporting the results for my analysis. So I have two different conditions. So the first is analysis report for performance of routine activities. So it's like a campaign, Instagram campaign, or maybe it can be implemented in other campaigns such as Facebook or maybe Airbnb. And the second analysis report is for ongoing research. It's for my task delegation in BI. So maybe for the first one is reporting for a campaign for routine activities. So I usually arrange my report this way. So I always start with action point. So yes, I always I will always make sure everything is written in here in the sections. Like I always write what I have done last week or the previous week, and then after that I make a performance section. So to find out how the results of the action points that I have done, I add a performance sections. So in these sections, I explain the positive and negative impacts of the action point that I have done. In the sections, I always input the data from the actions that have been carried out to determine the performance, whether it's good or not. So, and a good performance report will contain a qualitative as well as quantitative explanations. Quantitative is like a number, and qualitative is like it's explained in a sentence. And the last thing, I will end my reporting with a conclusion and also my next week plan. So yeah, I will close my report with conclusion and also what actions point, what I plan to do for the next week. From the performance that I do before, we can find out what things need to be improved and also maintained. So I think it is important for everyone to report what they're planning for next week. It gives more clarity for everyone, right? And then the next this is done when we conduct an experiment to solve a problem. So the first I'll start with background. I think this is a general for everyone. I think it's important for everyone to tell us what's the background for this reporting. And then the second, I always add about observation. I will present and explain the results of the problems I found from an experiment. So from doing this observation, I know what parameters to focus on to make my analysis easier later. And then the third, I will add hypothesis. So I'll include all the hypotheses that I have. I will write everything, all possibilities answered for the problems that I found at the observation stage. And then after I write a hypothesis, I always put solution. I think solution is one of the most crucial part. I will end my report with a solution. The solution list must be an executable solution, so it is possible to be executed. And I think yes, I will end again with question because I believe that nothing is perfect. So everything I've done must still have a weakness. So I usually ask a new question to other people, to my audience, on the weakness in order to get a new solution. So maybe that's all for my two types. And here's my tips when we want to conduct a report for analysis. So in my professor in college always said to me that a good analytical report is not just reading existing data and just telling people stories. So it's not about, so we give a data and we read about it. I think that's not about it. It's not a good analysis, but a good analysis will try to find the reason behind the data we get. Maybe that's my tips when we want to report analysis. And the positive and negative impacts by implementing this analysis is first, we can provide clarity to everyone. It provides more understanding for everyone in the discussion. And then the second thing, we can improve the quality in our discussion by reporting the analysis in an organized manner. The quality of the discussion will be better, and also we know what problems we need to face. And also our audience will also have direction for the question they want to ask. And the last thing is weakness and strength awareness. But I think this kind of analysis have their own negative side. It needs more time, but more detail. And the last thing is, a lot of people say that reporting like this are very ineffective. But in fact, by reporting in an organized manner, I think we can determine what action points can be executed to solve a problem.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Alif, for stating this. The reason I highlighted this, I think, is one thing. We spend a lot of time in discussions in Scrum groups, and oftentimes I've noticed that in these groups, we're not getting necessarily the clarity in thought and clarity in being able to make a decision. So it all comes back down to how we actually report our information. And I think Alif's method here is actually really innovative and truly inspirational, because if more people use this, then I think we would have more fruitful discussions and reach conclusions better, especially as we add more people to our team. So thank you very much, Alif. Next is to Tendi. Tendi, quick one. Has this already been reported or is this new?
This is already from last week.
Oh, okay. All right. So this one we'll skip, and I'll go back to the moderator, back to Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jin. And we'll move on right to the weekly mission inspiration. So from HAR first, from Kasasha, would you like to report about this review?
Yep, thank you, Kevin. So for this one is actually a guest, another happy guest at Rumah Budi Susanto in Jogja. And yeah, she is very grateful and happy that we host them well and like make sure they get what they need. And also she's very lovely and even thanked us when we reminded her about leaving the review. So that's pretty much it. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Kasasha. And we'll move on to Ka Andre. Please update me.
Okay, thank you, Kevin, for that. So this is another happy guest as well in Nusa Penida, which is very kind. She wrote a good review for us, even though she has some issues that there's no ATM nearby, when Wi-Fi cannot be used at the time. But she also put the review to support us. She read a different review. The good review is in a public one, but about the private feedback, is she also saying that some feedback for us. So it's kind of cool. Oh, I'm sorry, I just realized my background. I'm sorry.
No, it's awesome. I think that's really cool.
Okay, that will be from me, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. I love the background too. And we'll move on over to Kak Dipta. I think this is a very interesting story. Can you please give your updates? Is Kak Dipta here? Oh, he's not here. Okay, so I think we'll move over. We can read it for yourself in the paper, and we'll move over to Kak Anan.
Okay, good morning everyone. So for my update, yesterday I got good review from the guest, and then she actually very generous because like we kind of have a slightly change in the price, and then she didn't complain at all. Like she actually like just, oh, it's okay, I'm just gonna ask my husband, and then like she just pay the deposit. And then like after that, she actually had difficulty to pay the full payment on time. So like she had to pay it on the check-in day. And then like I kept telling her to take her time and no pressure because she was kind of busy with her thing. And then yeah, I think like she feels so much help, and then she gets me the honest review like that. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, thank you, Kak Anan. And we'll move over to the community chapter to Kak Tendi. Please share your story.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everyone. So this is the partner transformation. This is Pak Agus from the Drua Villa, and he is very have a good mindset. When I meet him, I train him some system, and then he very interesting and very easy to learn for the system, and then also he willing to accept the recommendation that I give to him because he said that he always want to improve, and then he also mentioned about how actually can improve about the self check-in, and then with the technology and everything, and then also this is the interesting part that I inspired from him as well. He actually all the stuff that he have is from the intern from the high school, and then I asked like why you hire this training. Yeah, because currently the most of the hotel in Nusa Dua is closed, and then the hotel doesn't accept the student, and then the student is like hard to find the place for training, and then he willing to help the school and then accept some training. I think currently he have like about 5 or 6 training on the villa, even though there is no guest or just a little guest, but he still keep teaching the student how to make the standard, how to give the service, everything with the simulation. Yeah, I think this is a very good example of the excellent owner. So I like type of this owner. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Kak Tendi. It's very inspirational from the owner. Okay, then we'll move over to Om Rafiq. Can you please give your updates?
Yeah, good morning. I think this is one Jing noise. This is Kakol and also double A guest house owner. So this is a cup of coffee with BP. This is my routine basically. I just take a picture of one of them. So I meet two owner at Kakol and double A. We talk about the demand and situation right now, and Bali will be open border on July at the beginning, and also talk about what is we can improve it. We improve the Wi-Fi speed because many promo for many kind of provider right now. So they will update the Wi-Fi and also talk about the service and everything, and also of course the referral. That is from me back to Kevin Kencana Bukit Vista.
Hey, thank you, Om Rafiq. So we move over to HR chapter to Kak Shelin. Do you have any updates on this?
Okay, thank you, Kevin. So yeah, good morning, everyone. So a few updates from the employee funnel. So okay, so the first one, I believe this one is from the marketing team. So this person has been like assigned to his first marketing campaign and also helped in online canvassing. Well, he also felt like that he's learning a lot and able to keep up with discussions. So yeah, that's a really good start, like in the chapter itself. And then next one, I believe this one is from HKR. So finally, we got like one converted booking in Facebook after 2 weeks of no conversion, as well as the inquiry automation is done. So yeah, special mention to Vidi, and thank you Vidi for this one. And next, for this one, I believe it's from CM chapter. So converting the first version of partner stage to the second version, which is more detailed and also pre-plot partner journey. Yay! And then for the personal achievement, able to discover opportunity from partner discussion and starting to implement as well. And another thing is that got 5 partner field satisfaction survey feedback. Yay! I think for like getting people to fill our survey is actually not not an easy job. So yes, congratulations to the person here. And last but not least, so this person did some refinement to align the partners acquisition conversion funnel with the transformational mission by adding partners persona evaluation. So to the MQL scoreboard as well as to the pitch deck. So yes, here are all like some of the achievement that the team has achieved the past week. So yeah, congratulations to everyone, and I'll pass it back to Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Shelin. And the last for this weekly inspiration is from technology chapter. Please, Kak Chris, if you are based on BVGo.
Okay, thank you, Kevin, for the opportunity. So, for mobile app, it is currently working and developing the iOS version of BVGo, and that's the footage of our simulator running our application. So yeah, we will give more updates regarding this, and it's actually really challenging as well. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kak Chris. Hopefully it will go well with the iOS version. Okay, I see there aren't any new employees here from Kak Shelin. And maybe we'll go to the principal. Please, Mr. Jin, do you have any updates on this?
This one goes to Shaylin.
Okay, so for the ES response, it's actually going to be delivered by Ilham. So we have actually had a discussion on the ES result for May, and Ilham will deliver the result. Yeah.
Where can you go down?
Yeah, you can scroll down below a bit.
Okay, so for this May ES, actually we are always growing to be better every day with quite a lot of positive vibes from ES. The first one is we can better address positive or negative issue from employees for workplace with super excited team member and showing care by identifying blind spot to our team from cross chapter peer-to-peer review. And last one is cooperation and improvement with partners. And also for data from May ES, actually we have team for May ES, which is monthly OKR review, peer-to-peer review, all hand personal update, and can you slide down again? Sorry. Okay, all hands personal updates, all hands core value recognition, and HR commentary on all hands. The first one is monthly OKR review. So for what you can control is actually the importance of OKR, how flexible it is when the situation permits. One may change his or her OKR actually. And what we're looking to achieve is for everyone to track their OKR well and also achieve the OKR as well. So for the next one is peer-to-peer review. For the what you can control is split executive summary by each person to optimize discussion time. It will be an like an MVP in HR actually. So the HR will execute these MVP first to know whether it is possible to implement or not to another chapter. And what we are looking to achieve is to be able to finish discussion with less time. Actually it is like economic principle. We can get more with less effort. Something like that. The next one is all hands on update. So for what you can control is context on personal updates. It can be personal or like work things, and also progression can also be considered and achieved as an achievement. Yeah. So you guys can also put your progression also like, okay, we are doing this, we are doing this. It's fine if you're not done yet actually. And what we're looking to achieve is for everyone to share their thoughts, share happiness, and also express themselves in company. So we want to have a better place for everyone to share their experience, express themselves as well. And for all hands corporate recognition, what you can control is everyone everyone to feel free to nominate, not just limited to the leaders and executive. So for the all hands corporate recognition, actually not only leaders can nominate, but also you guys or all of us can nominate each person in Bukit Vista. Yeah. And what we're looking to achieve is for everyone to boost up motivation and passion because their works are being appreciated by other coworkers. And for the last one from May ES is commentary on events. For what you can control is follow up to employee regarding the issue, to like or reply in comment. Like it is open for everyone, not just an HR. For what we're looking to achieve is for everyone to feel the warm atmosphere in Bukit Vista and showing care each other in Bukit Vista. And also, actually, it is to increase engagement between us here in Bukit Vista. So the last one is for April ES. For the evidence itself, for communication tools like Trello, like Paper, and Discord, HR is currently developing the best practice guideline. Everyone can check this draft, yeah, which later will be incorporated to the IT tools guideline paper. And for core values, vision, and mission, for the evidence itself, we have already updated in Bukit Vista webpage in About Us page. So I think that's all from ES update for this May and April. Back to Kevin. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Kak Ilham, for the update on EES, and we'll just move over to this month's theme. Can you, Kayla, please go down to the June theme, and I'll give the floor to Kak Fidi.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin. So for this month, I would like to remind everyone regarding our monthly theme. We just go deeper, trying to enhance our operations in each of the stages in the funnel. So onto the partnership funnel goal, we see that there is a recorded. Can we go down a little bit, Kayla? There is a required 22 partner signed contract up to this point. There hasn't been any report from the lower and also bottom funnel per the previous SLA update on the transformation yet. We'll update on that soon. But there's actually a strategic plan that I want to inform for everyone regarding the movement for the role of business development to community. So I want to set an understanding that business development is a role within the community chapter, and I've set a few arrangements with the HR team to integrate this as smooth as possible. So hopefully it will be executed soon enough. And I think that the partnership funnel has tried to evaluate and is not currently fixing the flow for a new partner to provide the best impression. And for the survive goal, actually, our revenue target is 50,000 with a stretch target of 55,000. Looking at the graph, currently we're really on track on up to like June 14, around June 14, we're currently on track with the revenue target. Currently we're at, I believe, if we go down a little bit, yes, currently we're at 38.5, 38K, so 38.5K, which is 77% of our revenue target. There are some alterations to the strategic plan, which is to improve each stage specialization and best practice to maintain the quality and also optimizing the revenue funnel stage through closer watch from the funnel managers. And I believe that the weekly sales for this first week actually is very well. It's about 8,000 USD, so that's a lot. Yeah, in general, we're looking good at both funnels. I believe that by the end of this month, we'll try to integrate as well for the target of the employee funnel. So that's that for the updates on the goals. Thank you very much, everyone, and let's keep up with the good work.
Okay, thank you, Kak Fidi. And now we'll go over to the personal updates. For everyone, please kindly just read the first two columns. If you don't have any note, and read your personal growth. And please don't take more than 1 minute on your updates. So first we go to Om Rafiq.
Okay, good morning. I just make it quick. So my team achievement is redefined property partner milestone. Kudos to GM team. And also get 3 more understanding contract with VP. And as always, very good discussion with community family about the campaign and everything. And about the books, honestly, I don't like to read the book now, but I like to read newspaper. When you go into the government office, they have like newspaper over there. I like to read it one. So that is my update. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Om Rafiq. We'll go to Katendi.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. For the team achievement is converting the first version of the partner stage to the second version, which is more details and also clear for the partner journey. And then the personal achievement is I'm able to discover opportunity from partner discussion and starting to implement it. And then got 5 partner fill satisfaction survey last week. And then the book that I will recommend you guys is the new gold standard from this Ritz-Carlton Hotel. I think this is very also fundamental and then basic book because we are in the hospitality industry and then we need to understand like how we serve the guests like that using the 3 steps that actually Ritz-Carlton show the magic. using the guest name to emphasize the guest. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Katembi. Then we move over to Asa. Oh, I think she's not here yet, so I'll read it for her. As personal achievement, she got her BVA weather, yay, and the teacher achievement is redefined property partner stage or milestones. And for the book, I can't read the title because of censorship reasons. But in this book, you can learn about the pain that inspires change because it brings discomfort, and ultimately you will seek change from discomfort. And you should be wrong, and will be wrong. Improvement comes from failure, and it's okay if life sucks because yeah, it really is. And we'll move over to Carlos. Is Carlos here?
Yeah, I'm here. So for me, my personal achievement 2 days ago, I got an offer to be part of Auckland University of Technology research team to do research for the I haven't thought and read about tourism studies since finishing my thesis last March, and this is a good opportunity because I can aid and enjoy the insight about tourism studies again. And for team achievement, it's redefine property partners milestones. And for the book, I think I want to recommend minimalist book. This book teaches me about give a space if we can be a minimalist person, letting more give us more space. Yeah, about personal growth. I learned how to analyze feedback from partners from Bukit Vista this week and learn how to coordinate related chapter to respond to feedback from partners. And actionable discovery is fast response is good, but it is better if we respond correctly too. Yeah, I think it's from me.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. I would like to remind to please kindly just read the two first columns, yeah? And we'll move over to the HAR chapter to Andre. You're still muted, Andre.
Yeah, I'm sorry. From me, my achievement is that in HR we start to review case month per month. It's actually start from May and make an evaluation for its case, and it's like I inspired by community. Basically, they have like reviewed and asking for feedback from the partners, so and then they can address the issues to each chapter that related to that feedback. And what books that I recommend you to read? But I'm actually only read novels, but I love this novel so much. It's Heroes of Olympus from Rick Riordan. I love it so much because the plot and also it's about the Greek gods as well. What is that? Yeah. My biggest personal growth is that I remember back up and about the situational leadership. I believe Jing also used to teach me about this as well. And I just remembered about this when I have a pairing and mentor with Sasha. And my actionable discovery is that I love to use data about on how we actually want to analyze the hosting. As simple as we're trying to see in the percentage about how successful we are when we're doing a morning message or check in the guest or something like that. We're gonna see it for at least from the percentage, and then we can continue actually to make a analysis from that. So that will be the update from me.
Okay, thank you, Andre. And we'll move over to Maria. Okay, I think she's not here, so I'll read for her. Her achievements has finally got one converted booking in FB after 2 weeks of no conversion, and the inquiry automation is done. So thank you to Kafidi, and she just finished reading that novel, The Hate You Give, and she would like to recommend it to everybody. Okay, we'll move over to Kasasha.
Thank you, Kevin. So for the personal achievement and team achievement is new external SLI for advocacy is sad, and also got another converted booking from Instagram campaign at Flamboyant33, and kudos to Anan and Erika for converting it. And for the book, basically, well, it's more of a comic actually. I used to read this. It's about a biography about successful people from around the world when I was still in primary school. And I still remember going to Gramedia only to look for this series. And I have some other series as well, but I think this one from Conrad Nicholson Hilton, the founder of Hilton Hotels, is one of the most inspiring ones, and I think that's one of the reasons why I got into the hospitality industry. That's pretty much my update. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you. And now we'll move over to Erica.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. So my update is that this week I helped converted a booking from Facebook, and hopefully we'll convert more. And I want to say thank you to Aika because she helps me a lot because I got confused about the listing, and we fixed it together if there's some tiny errors. And for the book I would recommend everyone is that Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari, and I'm still reading it, and I think it will be very entertaining and educating in the same time if everyone read the book. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. And Grace is currently unwell, so I'll read it for her. So the Piper Cup is doing well, and thank you to Coffee Day again. And for the book that she recommends is My Stupid Boss. I think it's very entertaining from the cover and very funny. And now we move over to Kadita. And Kadita is also not here, so I'll read it. So yesterday, got a positive remark from the lecturer on the first day of the finals. And last week, gathered a couple of photos from the publish for visual direction project across Jimbaran and Unggasan. And the posters are coming up right soon. And the book that Mika recommends is Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a funny title for me. So you get yourself a mentor and about money comes and goes, but of course money goes easier, and you need to reduce liabilities and only spend on valuable assets, and you need to surround yourself with smarter people than you. Okay, then we'll move over to Kaanan.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. So for my personal achievement, actually this week I don't have a lot of personal achievement, but I just finished the agent catalog from June until August, and this is for region 1. This is also get help from Kak Andre, and also got comfortable booking from Instagram campaign, which is the one that Kak Sasha just mentioned, from Loyan 23. And for the book, I would recommend you to read Secret, the Hero One. And I think like this book is very inspirational, and yeah, so many people experience there that you can take it for your personal life. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Kanan. And Areta is having online class, so I'll read it for her. Starting to formulate my dissertation is her personal achievement, and for the book that she recommends is a textbook, but I've never enjoyed reading a textbook. As well as reading that organizational behavior, I think it's very useful for, especially for university students, I guess, because university students usually have many organizations in university. So I think we'll move over to Mr. Jing. Please give your updates.
Okay, so one of my personal achievements was I actually filled in my achievement on Saturday, not on Monday night, and definitely not on Tuesday morning, and certainly not after the all hands has actually begun. So this is actually relating to something I've been thinking about, which is how to develop intrapersonal intelligence, to actually understand what the purpose of what you're doing is, and being able to relate that to the bigger picture. The book that I recommend is, of course, Peak by Chip Conley, one of my mentors from back in the day, and his book is the basis for which we built Bukit Vista. That's my update. Back to Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jing. So, and now we'll move over to Shelin.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. So for the personal team achievement, so we had the first HS funnel of the month, talking and analyzing the employee funnel. With this, like everyone can understand better on the big picture and see where went wrong and work things out from there. And yeah, another personal achievement, got my first dose of vaccine. So yay, finally. And then one book that I would recommend is actually a manga series that I read since like few years ago. This manga series actually got me started to read more detective series like Sherlock Holmes, Da Vinci Code, etc. Because like they use actually like a very unique like approaches of deduction in solving the cases, and it actually makes your brain think as well at the same time on how to catch the culprit and stuff. So yeah, it actually like stimulates your like thinking as well in this case. But yeah, yeah, if you guys like detective series, perhaps you can start from there. So yeah, that's all from me. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Kak sharing. I actually also own Detective Conan book, so I can relate to that. Okay, we'll move over to Kak Arfi.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. So my personal update for this week is I am involved in many discussions with HR team members. When I was sick, I felt like distance with the new team members, but now the distance is narrowing down, so it's great for me. And then the book that I want to recommend for everyone is Crime and Punishment because it's depressingly beautiful and it addresses social issues with some psychological things. So yeah, yeah, that's heavy, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Arfi. And we'll move over to Ilham.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. So for personal achievement, actually, I think this is not achievement, but yeah, I will say it. So during my off days last week, uh, actually this week, previous week is ES week. So during my day off week, I still can manage ES discussion well with only hours to prepare because I just come back to my city at Thursday night, and I need to deliver the ES discussion result at Friday morning. So I think this achievement from and for this team achievement, HR have a big batch of it right now, yeah. So welcome, Wisdom. And for what is one book that you think everyone's will read? I think like Petit Prince or The Little Prince, because if you read it, you'll understand that you have to see something deeper. I mean, it is not only with your eyes, but also with your heart, yeah. And for us, especially, it will make us think again how we see the world. Okay, thank you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Ilham. Okay, hold on. Feeling hers, so we'll move over to Jenna.
Thank you. So not an achievement yet, but I'll be focusing more on the employee funnel. So I'm going to capture you guys more often, yeah. So for a book I would recommend is The Windsor Boy. So I think some people took English literature before, but it's basically a book about this silly story where a boy was dismissed from college because he was stealing 5 shillings, which is about like a few cents, and his father sued the school for dismissing him. So the part I enjoyed most about the book is the character development and analysis of each person throughout the story. So if you enjoy the idea of character growth and development, you could read this book, and I would love to talk to you guys about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jenna. I love the reference, by the way. We'll move over to Aaron.
Thank you. So my team achievement for this week is I got a chance to co-host a farewell party of Kevin with Jenna, and I also analyzing Google Analytics for the first time together with Furkan. And for the other tasks, I cannot say that it's achievement because it's in progress yet, and I hope to get the good results from it. And my favorite book is Rachel Templar, which is the Rules of Works, which this is a pretty good book to tell those of us who want to know what separates someone who is easy to become success and someone who is still struggle against the company. And this book is simple and straightforward to frame a concept of how to behave to advance in the world of work in the form of respecting yourself, honing a certain skills, and being more productive. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. Okay, move over to Furkon.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My personal achievement that last week I've done so many my first sharing interview, university relation, distribution post, and also including the one that Aaron has just said. And my team achievement for HR chapter, we achieved more SLA for the bottom funnel. So yay for all of us. And also the book that I recommend is the trilogy of Mr. Dahlan Iskan, Sepatu Dahlan, Surat Dahlan, Senyum Dahlan. This book is really inspiring and really motivating. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Furkon. And we'll move over to Shumin.
Hello. Yeah. So for me, a personal achievement will be I officially started my internship at BV as a HR intern, and yeah, I've been on a good schedule of like waking up at 6 a.m. to run. And a book that I'll recommend. I just started reading Thinking Fast and Slow, and I think it's a pretty good book. Like it talks about like critical thinking and like common biases that we actually do subconsciously. Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shumin, and we'll move forward to Puji.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. So, I read the book Rich Dad and Poor Dad, the same book like Karita, but I got a different perspective from this book because this book is explaining the poor and the middle work for money, but the rich have money for them. So it's not how much money you make that matters, but it's how much money you keep. So many rich people acquire assets, but the poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. On this book, I think that you should read because the story is very interesting and not boring at all. And there's the sentence that makes me attract for read this series of books because the sentence is politics or rat raising like make whole and close it again. So you have the liabilities and just pay it so your money is gone like that. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Puji. We move over to PD, to Kabayu.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Okay, my update for today is basically no notable achievement, and so I'll read the books, my favorite books. I saw that some people also like this writer, Robert T. Kiyosaki, but I like the second book. I don't know if it's the second book or a third book, but this is called Rich Dad's Cash Flow Quadrant. So in general, this book teaches us about financial philosophy. But personally, I learned that actually this book teaches the problem solving mindset in 4 levels. So, and also lately, I realized that it's related to our discussion about specialist versus leader. So, if you can see the quadrant right there, so there's E, S, B, and I. So, I'd like to explain this a little bit more. So, there's a person on E that basically time is money, right? That's just like a when you are just started. And then the second level is the S or self-employed. So it means that you are a specialist. You have a special skill. So your time is still money, but it's twice the money that just a regular employer have. And then there's another person that's actually B business owner, right? So that's there. I think we can relate it into a leader basically. So basically the mantra is people works for you. So it means that instead of solving your own problem, you actually enable people to solve the problem for you. This is aligned with the topic that Chris has been brought to us in the beginning of this all hands. And the fourth one is investor. Basically, money works. Money makes you money. So that's what's interesting for me about this book. The next part is the personal growth. So I do oil painting now. So on my day off. So I think it's very calming because it combines imagination and tactile activity, and you cannot uh, do anything else other than painting. So you cannot check your phone. You cannot think about anything else. You just imagine what you want to paint, and then you use your hands to create the actual painting. So that's my update. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Kabayu. Very inspirational book. I propose a 10-minute extension. Sorry, guys. I think it's gonna be overtime. To Nadia, she has very unstable internet. So I'll read it for her. Her achievements reevaluate online assessment, compare several bugs on mobile app, and complete. Sorry, and starting iOS development on Bifigo. And the book she recommends is the Klein Prince. How to say that? And it's her full-time favorite book since she was a kid. Okay. Next, we'll move over to, can you scroll down, to Chris.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. So for our personal team achievement, completed the iteration, testing, and launched the Booking.com Net Value project. And the second one is completed the iteration for Goodbye Message Tech. For the books that I recommend everyone to read is actually Mindset by Carol Asbeck. This was the first book that I read when I decided to work on my self-improvement. And this book made me realize about the core issue that I have at the time. So basically, this book tell you two things. First, the fixed mindset people that think if they feel like I'm just not good enough, I can do anything to help it. I just not smart enough. And the second one is the growth mindset, which when you fail, you will think like, I failed. Okay, why I failed? How I can improve that? This is challenging and it's fun, and it's actually really life changing for me to read this book. That's all for me. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Chris. And we'll move to Zio. But he hasn't filled in, so we'll move over to Nico. Okay, sorry, I didn't read the message, so I'll read it for him. So he started a milestone 46 and finishing 45 projects, and their book, he doesn't read general books like novels or inspirational books, so he only recommend this because it's the last book about calculus. So we move over to Raphael.
Yes, so the book that I think everyone should read is the Unfair Advantage. This book explains how everyone has what it takes to succeed from every background and every race. It explains how life is unfair and how you can use that unfairness to your advantage. My biggest actionable discovery is have a notebook or piece of paper next to you while working. It's sort of like a brain dump. So whenever you have intrusive thoughts while working, write it down on the paper and it will help clear out your mind.
Okay, thank you, Raphael. We move over to Mokwayana. Sorry, there's one more. Sorry. I'll read it for Amelia. So, personal achievement, she started her first project as an intern, yay. And for the books, she recommends Atomic Habits, a book that is life-changing. And she recommends everyone to read it. Okay, maybe we'll move over to Mokwayan.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my achievement is like a new partner developer managed to create the MVP group login on this booking.com account, and the book that actually I use audiobooks. I like the concept of the rich dad poor dad actually, and then for the personal growth, I think P2P was very insightful and decided to fix it for this month on my OKR. Discovered that I need to be better on coordination with the transfer. Yeah, that's it for me. Back to
Thank you, Moana. And we move over to Nadine.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everyone. So my last week achievement is I did some refinement to align the partners acquisition conversion funnel with the transformational mission by adding partners persona evaluation that we discussed on the partnership funnel team. It's actually refinement on the MKL scoreboard and also to the pitch deck. And for the book that I would like to recommend you is it's Thinking Fast and Slow by Dara Kahneman. It's actually reveals where we can actually we can and cannot trust our intuitions and how we can tap into benefits of slow thinking. That's I haven't finished this, but this one I found it pretty interesting to read. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nadine. And we move over to Carissa.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. For my achievement is small improvement for marketing review, and also Jogja freelance consultant is delivering some MQLs. And for the books is I'm not a lot of reading a book, but the book that I recommend would be is Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. It is about learn the success and failure, and all of basically I love this book.
Okay, thank you, Carissa. And move over to Kagani.
Okay, thank you,
Kevin, and good morning, everyone. So for the achievement is got excellent feedbacks from marketing people last weekend, more understanding which my weakness and strength. So for the book is whispering, so read Max, you know. So I prefer to monocle magazine, guys. Okay, to you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Gani. And Aika is having a discussion with her lecturer. So I'll read it for her. Her personal achievements is just finished her thesis research, and for the book, he recommends this secret. It's just the secret. Okay, explains what we can get, what we want, but first get clear about what we want. Okay, move over to Aldre.
Yes, hello. So for my personal achievement, I was assigned to do my first marketing campaign in helping in online canvassing, and I feel like I've been learning a lot in this assignment. And for the book that I want to recommend is The Wine Up Bird Chronicle by Murakami. The combination of Murakami's choices of words, engaging plot, and use of imaginative themes definitely made me addicted in reading this book. I also recommend people to read Murakami's book because he's such a good author. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aldre. Move over to Christabel.
Okay, thank you. So for my personal achievement, I've just started my internship in BV just yesterday, actually. So hi, nice to meet you guys. And for the team achievement, our intern batch just came up with a batch name. And then for the book that I recommend, it's The Book Thief because it's very interesting. The plot is very creative, but be prepared to cry reading this book. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Christabel, for the spoiler also. And move over to Andreas.
Oh yeah, good morning everyone. As for my personal achievement is that I started my internship in Bukit Vista as a marketing and business development intern, and that I am able to fill my CV with a plethora of great experiences as of late. And for the book that I recommend, to tell you the truth, in the past I used to read novels, although not too much of a serious one at that. For example, I do recommend Kambing Jantan from Raditya Dika to give you a laugh of lifetime.
Okay,
Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Andres. And move over to Zaki.
Okay. Hello guys. My personal achievement is getting to bed earlier before 12 p.m. for the last 3 days, and I've been getting more quality sleep, more than 6 hours actually. And 2 days ago, I organized a high school reunion. It's the second one in around 6 years, I guess, and it gets many positive feedbacks from my friends. So yeah, that's quite a cheer for me. About the books, I rarely read books, but I do recommend a YouTube docu series. It's called Fox Borders. So basically, it tells the stories about the conflicts and issues around borders around the world. Highly recommend if you like geopolitics and history. I think that's it. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Zaki. Move over to another Kayla.
Yes, hello everyone. Kyla. So my personal achievements this week is I finally started my internship here at Bukit Vista, and I finally be able to make my own cinema roles that actually did good. And for the book I recommend for everyone to read is The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down by Haemin Sunim. This book is basically telling us what we miss when we move so fast day by day without actually feeling it. And the exciting thing is this book is meant to be read only one chapter per day, so we are meant to separate. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Kayla. Okay, we move over to BI. Kalilis asked to read this for her, so I'll read it. For BI, reactivating BI operational thanks to all the interns, and for CM, together with the team formulating partnership, quality metrics, and partner milestones. And for the book, she recommends design thinking, innovative method for brainstorming, data generation, etc. Okay, move forward to Kafidi.
Yep, thank you. Shout out to BI for operationals that is more scheduled for, and also shout out to HR for asking like critical questions and we're elevating the processes that we're having right now. Shout out to marketing for the involvement in the guest funnel that is stabilizing, and completed together with the HR team a generalized inquiry tracker. Just need to fix the data, and my recommended book is Gabriel Garcia Marquez, 100 Years of Solitude, that allows me to track different variables at the same time If you don't track it, you will get lost. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David didn't feel his, so we'll move over to Kayla.
Okay, hi everyone. My personal achievement is I completed my research paper draft a whole month faster than I expected by speeding through it for like 4 days. And a book I recommend is Educated by Tara Westover. I included the picture, but I think it's gone now. But if I can't convince you to read it, please read Bill Gates' review on it. It's basically a memoir about how Tara Westover grew up in a very radical family. She didn't go to school, never went to a doctor, but she grew up to pursue her education and even went to UK for education. So it's very inspiring. So that's it for me. Thank you, Kevin. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Kayla. By the way, I'll propose an extension of 5 minutes again. I think it's enough to read the others and other stuff. And move over to Alif. Is Alif here or did he leave? Okay, maybe I'll read it for him. Oh, sorry, he said online class. I think 3 days ago was the best day of my college life because I was selected to take part in the student leadership symposium held by Chevron in the USA. Wow. In Colorado this October. And for the book, he recommends Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist. Okay, Mukmin didn't fill his, so we move over to mine. Okay, so my personal achievement is my paper from the initiative that I cleared like a week ago is being used for BVCO article. And for the book, I don't read books, so I recommend this. I cried because I didn't understand any of it when I was studying for final exam. Okay, we move over to Sarah.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everyone. So, one of my personal achievement is getting good reviews from my customers. And then a book that I recommend to everyone is this book called The Catcher in the Rye. I think it's quite popular. So I think this book, everyone should read it because it's a book about self-discovery. So the main, the moral of the stories are like, is for you to know that you're not alone in your frustrations, and growing up means channeling your frustrations towards something productive instead of harboring it within yourselves. And also being brutally honest with yourself is an important thing. And the last one is knowing when to let go and not hold on. Yeah, thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Vera. Arya didn't fill his, so we move over to Afina, but she has online class. So I'll read it for her. Her personal achievement is her lecturer gave a good comment on the project that she's working on. And for the book, it's called Saksi Kunci, based on a real case about scandal of one of the biggest company in Indonesia, Asian Agri. The book is telling us a story of a whistleblower who are, whistleblower who are trying to uncover the tax evasion of the company. Wow. Okay, we'll move over to Manasa.
Thank you, Kevin. So for my so for my personal achievement, I'd say I started reading a book that I've always wanted to read for a long time, and I picked up my reading habit, which I lost a while ago. So that's a personal achievement. And then for the book that I recommend for I think everyone should read is The Intelligent Investor, because it explains value investing in a way that everyone can understand, like in a very non-complex way. And it's explained by the father of value investing himself, Benjamin Graham. And I think everyone should read this book because value investing is something that I think everyone should just start doing little by little with their salary or like income, because it's kind of like a good source of side income that you can keep for like emergency or rainy days when when conditions like aren't great, or you'll always have like some sort of side income. So I think that's why value investing is important for everyone. So and then this book really helps you get started with it. So yeah, that's why I think everyone should read it. And then for my personal growth, I'm slowly starting to make progress on being able to cool my mind in situations of anxiety or frustration. So that's one personal goal. As for the discovery, I haven't come up with anything particular as of yet. So nothing for the discovery portion right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Manasa. Patricia has unstable interest, so I'll read it for her. Our personal achievement, finished reading a super long book in Italian. That's very nice. And for the book, she recommends When Breeze Becomes Air. It will really let you see life through a new perspective. Okay, we'll move over to Hakim.
Alright, thank you, Kevin. Hello, everyone. My name is Hakim. I'm new data analyst intern here. For my personal achievement, one is to start my intern here, and then the second is to finish my third year of college really well. Looking forward for final year and graduating. And then I've killed my bad holiday habits. And then for the books, I recommend you all to read Measuring What Matters by John Dewar. It's a book about OKRs. We use it currently here. I read it for my job in my college organization. So it's a simple idea of setting ambitious goals and being accountable of it. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Hakim. We'll move over to Michael.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everyone. So I will just go. So for my personal achievement, I'm be able to start scheduling time better after starting intern because before starting intern, my schedule is just so bad. I do everything without any schedule, and it really does waste a lot of my time. And for the book, I can't recommend any of you a book because I haven't read a lot of books and I only read academic books and I don't recommend it because for me it's not interesting. And for my biggest personal achievement, I'm able to wake up early in the morning, not in the late morning. And for my discovery is that working inside a room really makes me more focused and be able to do things more fast. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Michael. And lastly, we'll move over to Anis.
Hello everyone, my name is Anis and I'm a new finance analyst intern. For my personal achievement, I'm starting my internship yesterday and starting my first delegation task. For book, for now I don't have any recommendation because since my holiday I haven't read a book, and for personal growth I'm starting to manage my time better because it's a long holiday for me, so I have to arrange my time better. For discovery, I discovered that there's no standard how to structure campaign based on HR campaign and BI campaign. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anis. And by the way, Kyla, that's your book. Yes. Okay, for the last summary, I think there's a core value recognition by Mr. Jing. Can you please move over to that part of the paper?
Okay,
Okay,
everyone, I'll just quickly recognize Tendi for inspired delight and leadership, and these are the reasons why. Tendi, one, discovered a practice that one of our partners was using to put high school interns to help service his property. Two, he saw that it was a good idea and prioritized it because it aligns with our vision and mission. It's an innovative way to put potential employees to work, and that positively transforms employees and potentially partners. Three, Tendi discovered the problems with the legality that might occur with certain partners, and instead of just bringing the partner, he suggested a solution using BV's legal status, and this inspires delight because this is how we should solve problems. Okay, that's pretty much it. Back to Kevin and Kayla.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jing. And so I think that's all from the summary. I'll move over back to Kayla as the host.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. And I suppose that's all for today's All Hands. I thank everyone who joined today and apologize for the delay of 20 minutes. And I hope you have a good day. Thank you, everyone.
Okay,
Thank you,
Kayla.
Kevin.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Kayla, Kevin, stay.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Have a good day.
All right, let's go to Kayla and Kevin. Oh, where's Kevin? Kayla,
Let's give it a rejoin.
Yeah, let's get Kevin to come back, yeah? All right, and let's have Arvi here too as well, yeah?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see. Kayla, would you be able to message Kevin? And
Yeah.
let's get him back in the room.
Yeah, he's rejoining.
Okay, 2, not all 4, right? Okay, let's go over to Arvi. Arvi, what feedback do you have for Kayla and Kevin?
Okay, so I don't know why, but people are coming to a different link today.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Okay.
We never changed the link of the all hands.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay, but like aside from the delay, we actually have more interns and more announcement today, so that's why maybe we have like delayed 20 minutes.
Okay. All right. Good. Any advice for in particular for Kevin or Kayla from you, Arby?
I think Kevin did good in like managing the time, but we still have like many of the people who are reading all the updates of his or her. So Kevin needs to like constantly reminding everyone that they only have to read 2 updates.
Okay. All right. And what about for Kayla? Do you have any advice for Kayla?
For Kayla, I think she did good, but in the first few minutes, usually you don't give to moderator first when reading the weekly inspiration.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Okay.
Kayla, do you have any advice for Kevin? Or Arby?
For Kevin? I think the same as Garvey, like continuously remind people to read only the certain columns. Maybe if not by langsung speaking, you can add it in the chat as well.
Yep. Okay. All right. And any advice for Arby?
For Garvey?
Yeah.
I think just the link thing. I wasn't aware of that. I think I panicked because I didn't know that. I thought we were supposed to make the link because when I checked the GCal invite, it was only for me and Kevin and a few other people, like only like 5 people. I was like, oh, I thought, yeah, it was a wrong link or something.
Okay. Okay. And Kevin, any advice for either Arby and Kayla?
Yeah, I don't think I have any for Kayla, other than the first part where she passed it over to me, even though it should be her for the stuff. And Arfi, yeah, I think we should update the all hands format, meeting format paper, since I needed to ask a lot of things to Garfi before the all hands meeting.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. All right. This is where I'm going to be radically candid and say a few things, and please just take into context that this is feedback that everybody needs to hear in order to positively transform. Okay. This is a safe environment. Once again, it's meant to be a place where we can learn and grow. But the first thing is everybody's advice for each other is a little bit, I think, too not very helpful, right? So I heard Arvy's advice, I heard Kayla's advice, I heard Kevin's advice, but I think what you all are doing is being ruinously empathetic and maybe even manipulatively insincere. You guys need to keep each other more accountable, I think, for how an all hands turns out. And there's definitely things that I think are pretty obvious, but yet nobody has brought up. Okay, so I'll start speaking. One, this goes to all 3 of you, but maybe specifically the host, Kayla. In a case where I think where we have so many people and we have so many updates, it might be a good idea the night before to actually just take a look and see what kind of material is on the all hands, right? There's a big update from HR. There was a big update from Alif. There's a few updates from me. And there was a lot of updates from the different chapter leads for vision and mission thing. So if you prepared a little bit beforehand, you would have a choice, right? Or you would have a little bit of idea of knowing what exactly to do. There's a few options if you prepared beforehand. You can tell the person to compact down what they've written so that it's a little bit more compact and it can be delivered on time. Or you could just choose to tell them, hey, you have 3 minutes to say this, and after that, it's done. That's between Kevin, I think, as a moderator, and Kayla as a host. How would I divide that? A moderator should be thinking technically about how they are going to complete this all hands within time. A host needs to think about, I think, the respect given to everybody else in the room and also the person who wants to announce something. So there's one part hospitality, there's one part that's technical. And I think if you guys had worked together before, the all hands had seen that, then there's a greater possibility that we would have finished on time. Okay, so there's a few things that I saw that were kind of strange. Kevin, I have a lot of feedback for you. You didn't read the missing update for DIPTA. I don't know why, but you just kind of skipped over that. So it doesn't really inspire delight when that happens, but it's almost like we're trying to sweep something under the rug, right? So if you see something that isn't quite right, just say, this is what I see. DIPTA doesn't seem to be in the room, but I'll read his announcement, okay? That is far better than committing an act of omission, right? A mistake of omission and skipping over something that should have been there. The other thing that I see as a moderator, Kevin, is that you'll need to be able to regulate on time. This is also, Kevin, why I shared the Steve Jobs video with you early on, and I think that you saw what that means. If we do not keep to a certain sort of standard, then what happens is that the energy and the respect in the room starts going away, because it's not really clear what you expect from the people around you. You as a moderator can cut people off. You can say, all right, your time is over, we'll need to go to the next person. And I was hoping you would do that with me, actually, because that would actually demonstrate stepping on toes. I was deliberately taking a little bit more time, hoping that you guys would say, okay, Jing, we need to get to the rest of everybody, thank you very much. Or could you finish what you need to say in the next 10 seconds, right? And I would have been happy to do so. But you didn't, and that caused this backlog that resulted in almost a 20-minute overtime, right? So as a moderator, I think don't be ruinously empathetic, right? Waiting for people to finish what they say. Think about the entire company. Think about everybody here as well. They also want to get back to work and finish. And it's really important to keep the energy of the all hands compact so that we don't have all these like monologues that keep on happening, right? Okay, I think the next one goes to Kyla about keeping the screen in the main part of where we need to focus on. I believe you were controlling the screen, right, Kyla? So
Yeah.
this goes to design thinking and also being user-centric, which is one of the books that somebody brought up, in fact. So think about if you're trying to understand or trying to see this as an audience member. There was a part, I think, up there where Chris was explaining things. I had to scroll down because he was talking about things that were coming on below the fold. So I think if you're controlling the screen, that's for anybody who might do in the future, try to, as much as possible, try to put the thing that somebody's talking about in the very center so that we don't have to, it's already can be very confusing because people write really long text blocks and it might not be clear what am I supposed to be reading here. So if you control the screen, try to put it in the dead center so that that part, I think, is inescapably clear for anybody here, okay? Next is, oh, right, the calendar. So the calendar, RV, for some reason, is, I got an invite with 6 people for the all hands, and 5 people said they were going. Given the size and also the newness of many people coming into the company, I don't think that's a best practice, mainly because it's confusing, right? It's once again an integral part of how we manage time, and the more people we have, the more important time management becomes. That if our communicating about what we mean by how we're going to spend our time for like something like an all hands is not clear, I think that can be very confusing for interns. And then when I pointed this out to Kayla and Kevin, they panicked and I think they created a new calendar invite with a new link, and that's what resulted in a bit of the mismatch, okay? So I'm not sure why, because this seems like something that should be fairly routine. Just invite everybody to the event that happens every week and add the new names or the company register into that. I think that avoids that. Okay, last thing is this, Kyla, Kevin. Preparation is your defense and your confidence. So prepare more and you'll be more confident. If things don't go according to plan, try to, this is what I mean by intrapersonal intelligence as well. This becomes more and more important as you become, let's say, more established in your career, perhaps become a leader. If you feel panic. Understand you're feeling panic and let that panic not affect your judgment, right? I think somebody talked about unconscious biases. I think Schumann talked about that and how that affects your judgment. When you're panicking, you're not thinking. You're just like reacting. And that generally, if you scale it up to the size of a company or to like something where it affects a lot of people, doesn't lead to good results, okay? understand that everybody feels fear. Know that you're feeling fear, okay? But take a moment to let that fear kind of dissipate, collect yourself, and then think about, what do I need to do now, right? So, like Kyla, when I said, hey, here, this is the situation, the calendar, your first response was, that's not my fault. I wasn't responsible for the calendar, right? What you should think about is, yes, that's horrifying. That's we're 5 minutes away before the all hands. Think about, what should I do now, right? Or, okay, it seems like this is the condition. I think the best course of action is this, right? And I'll work with this person to get it under control. So that's a very important thing to learn for crisis management, which happens more often when you're leading. And frankly speaking, that's why we give everybody an opportunity to lead the all hands, because it does use that Feynman method of teaching everyone how to experience leadership, right, and such. Okay, those are most of my points. So one, don't be ruinously empathetic, because that way nobody will learn anything. And of course, as you can see already, the energy in all hands where things are kind of panicky reflects in the audience as well. Everyone's like kind of, I noticed everyone was afraid to even write or comment. There was like this tension in the room. And if you ask, where does that tension come from? It probably comes from the people who have the most engagement in the room, which is the host and the moderator. So remember that too as well. Your mood gets projected out to the rest of the company during an all hands. Okay? All right, that's pretty much it. I'll listen to some feedback about my feedback. So let's go to RV first.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your feedback. Actually, because I actually forgot some details on the event itself. In the event DJ, like when Kevin like skipped one from Dipta, and then yeah, about all the others, and then I am planning to make a crisis management here in Dolphin's paper. So the future moderator and host can actually understand how the thing flow if there is like some cases like this happen again.
Okay, all right. I think that's a good pivot, RV. So that's taking a look and seeing how we can avoid situations like that in the future. But RV, also keep in mind this, right? We don't want to necessarily complicate or overcomplicate this documentation as well, because we've been getting some of that in HR, right? Like when people look at the library, they're like, oh, there's so many pieces I have to understand. So what I would do is, in a crisis management, it's like, you know those glass boxes that said smash the glass and hit the red button if there's an emergency? Kind of like maybe put it as that. If there's an emergency, open this box, right? And then people can see it. Because if you talk about an emergency before the emergency has happened, I've noticed it actually gets people to panic more, and that might not be a good thing. So kind of hit the red button in case all else fails. It tends to be a good way to psychologically prepare people for it. Okay, thank you, Arby. Kevin, any feedback for my feedback, or anything else that you'd like to say?
Okay, sir. So actually, I read the test updates. Actually, it's the one with the Google updates. Visual direction project. I actually read it.
You did? Okay. All
I
right.
did. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my connection was best. It actually said that my internet connection was unstable, like during the meeting. So I think that might be a reason why.
Good.
And
Here's what I'll do, Kevin. I'll check that to because I'm recording right here, right? I'll check what happened there. Perhaps I saw something incorrect, but there was something that I saw was a skip. Did anybody else remember differently, or is what Kevin said correct?
I think because there were two updates from Gipta, right?
Okay.
I think you read the second one, but I think you didn't read the first one.
Okay, could be that. All right, let's we'll take a look at the video, Kevin, and see what transpired. Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Kevin?
okay. And for the I actually wanted to cut off Alif when he explained a bit too long, but I thought that wasn't part of what I can do. It's
No, as moderator, you remember act of commission rather than act of omission. And remember, think about like the overall company rather than just about one particular person's update. You have to prioritize that in your mind, right? Just imagine any moderator. Even if a movie star coming on your television show starts going on too long, you got to cut them off so that the show can finish on time, right? Otherwise, yeah, it's really unfair to the bigger picture. Okay, yeah, definitely. That's what all moderators. Your mission as a moderator is to make sure that the meeting finishes on time. Actually, that's pretty much it, and in the most meaningful way. So think about that. Okay. Anything else, Kevin, that you'd like to say?
Okay, I think that part about moderators can cut people off so we can be on schedule. I think it should be list. It should be what is it listed in that part where KRV is writing.
Okay.
I had no previous moderating experience, so I didn't know about that.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Fair enough. Here's how I'd like to say it though, Kevin. Think of it this way. As an intern, as an innovator, we're always going to be doing things at times that we're not sure of, right? So this is why precisely we hire based on attributes, and this is also precisely why we rely on core values. If we were to write down everything that we expect a person to do, then this company would start becoming more like it would just be an SOP type company, right? In this particular case, this is what you do, what you do. So sometimes we need to rely on good judgment. In this particular case, I would say think about does what I'm doing inspire delight, right? And for how many people am I actually inspiring delight? What core value am I relying on that allows somebody to speak overtime, right? And think about that. Once you think about that, I think then the decision becomes clear, right? It just becomes a prioritization. I can allow this person to speak, or I can allow this person to finish on time, or I can coach them to follow the thing. I did also notice after a while, Kevin, that people are just reading off their entire things, right? And you're not stopping it either. So Wayana did that, and I think some people at the end started doing that too. Which generally also means that they're not understanding what you're doing. So this is persona and leadership, I think, as well. If you cast, I think, the correct persona, if you cast the correct leadership, then it should be less of a problem, right? So also think about that too as well. I think that's fairly important. Okay, Kevin, anything else?
I think that's all. I do agree with when you're panicking, your judgment becomes bad.
Yes.
I think I do agree with that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kyla, any last feedback from you?
I think it's more like feedback to myself, really, but I do agree with some of your points there. I think I have three main points. First is that first point is that I think I agree that I should have read the paper first, but one thing is that maybe I would, if I did read the paper, I would like have trouble figuring out which is more important, which I should, which I should click first before the others, like which I should allow to have more time than others. That's what I was trying to say, sorry. That's one thing. And the second is, I guess I also didn't communicate a lot with Kevin before the paper. So yeah, if I did read and I identified which should be more important, I should have said it to Kevin and like reminded him more of like the time and all that.
Correct. I mean,
that's true. I needed.
Those are very valid points if they were brought up yesterday, right? Or they were brought up beforehand. So I think this is something you're absolutely right. Like it is. This is why we give everybody this particular exercise. It is a exercise in leadership. As a leader, you're going to have to decide. Okay, what do we communicate? Right? How much of a particular message deserves more floor time? How much a particular message can be deprioritized, right? And as you can see, there's a limited amount of resources. There's only an hour to get this thing done. So that's a very practical leadership dilemma. And if you become a leader, this is something you're going to have to do like every day, right? People come to you with different ideas. People come to you with different solutions, different suggestions, proposals. You're going to have to decide what to prioritize and what not to prioritize, right? But once again, back to this commission and a mission. It is better to prioritize something rather than just letting things kind of go whichever direction that they would naturally go into. That is not leading. That is just observing or watching your kingdom sort of go its own direction without being a leader. A leader needs to, once again, have at least your own vision, right? Your vision doesn't necessarily need to be perfect, but your vision could be as simple as, I want to make sure that people get to speak before the company, or maybe the company gets to speak before people. Simple as that, right? So then you have at least a principle that you can work on. Once you have that, then your execution will at least be aligned to that principle. Maybe the principle doesn't align to the mission, but then that's easier to correct, right? So in all hands, ultimately, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, should be fun. It should give you a taste of what it's like to kind of drive the entire company. And it can be a burden in some ways because you have to make some decisions, but it can also be exhilarating in other ways because you get to see your own personal persona get projected across many people as well. So, okay, anyways, hopefully that was fun for everyone. Arby, thank you for making the innovations improvements on the document. Hopefully we'll do this. And don't forget, help others help themselves. So whatever you've learned on this one, pass it on to the next person so that they can, they can also inspire light. Okay, thank you everyone, and have a nice day. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, sir, actually,
Thank
I
you very
want
much,
to add
sir.
something, sir. Can
Yes,
I?
Kevin, of course.